What's up, friends? Dan Vega here, and in today's tutorial, it's going to be kind of a short one, but it is a sweet one. So I have a little tip that I use with the Vue CLI, and every time I tell it to someone, they're like, wow, I didn't even know that existed. So I can't wait to share that with you, and we'll do it right after this. What's up, friends? My name is Dan Vega, and if you're new to this channel, I run the website danvega.dev. If you head over there, you'll find a bunch of really helpful tutorials, videos, and courses. And I actually just released a new course on getting up and running with Vue for absolute beginners, so that if that interests you, go ahead and head over to my website, and you can learn more about it there, or I will leave a link below. With that, let's jump in and learn something new today. So this is something I see a lot of people do. They'll create a new tutorial using the Vue CLI, and then they'll go into that project and delete a bunch of stuff out so that they can start showing you something else. So here's what that typically looks like. So I'm going to create a new Hello World project. So I would come in here and say Vue create Hello World, and what this is going to do is create a new Vue project and put it in the Hello World directory. So I'm just going to say default. It's going to go through and use the default there, and it's going to create me a new project using the Vue CLI. All right, so then we would open it up in Visual Studio Code. We'd typically come in here and go, all right, before we get started, we need to get rid of some of this boilerplate code. So there's this hello world.vue. Let's go ahead and delete that. Let's go into, why didn't it delete? Delete. Then let's go into app.vue, and we no longer are importing that. So let's get that out of here. Let's get this out of here. Let's get this and this and this out of here. And I don't need this logo, so let's get rid of that. And I might get rid of some of this. So this is typically how I see tutorials start, and there's actually a better way to do this, and I want to look at that now. So let's go ahead and close this. And I'm just going to delete that, come back over here, and we're working with an empty directory again. So if you look at the help for Vue Create, so you can actually run in and get some help information on the Vue CLI itself. So if you say Vue-H, you'll get some help on the Vue CLI itself. Like, here are all the different commands. So we use that create command to create a new project. But the create command itself also has some options that you can take a look at. So a way to get some help on that is to type Vue. Actually, let's clear this out. Vue create -h, and now you get some options here. So you can see that there's like ways to skip the prompts and use like a saved preset. There is a way to say no git or clone something. Then there's this one down here that's -b or --bear, and this will scaffold a project without those beginner instructions. So it'll remove that hello world component, which we're going to delete anyway. So let's look at what that looks like. So I'm going to go Vue create hello world, and I'm just going to use that flag -b. And again, I'm just going to use the default. All right, so now if we look at this project here in Visual Studio Code and we go into source, there's actually no components directory. So there's no hello world component. There's no components directory. If you go into app.vue, there is still a title and that image, but no longer all that other boilerplate code that we had there to begin with. So what I would typically do is come in here and actually just create a new template and start off from scratch. And then the only thing you would have to do is if you wanted to keep your components in a components folder, you would come in here and say components and then drop in your first component. But I like this rather than kind of deleting stuff and trying to get to a starting point. So this is just a really quick tip, but like I said in the beginning, every time I tell it to someone, they're like, wow, I didn't even know that existed. So that's really important if you're on the CLI. For each one of those different options that you have, or each one of those different commands, you have different options, and you can get some help information on those options or on those commands by using the -h flag. So again, just a cool little trick. I hope you found that useful. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment below on some of your favorite tips and tricks in Vue. And as always, friends, happy coding.